Hi, a couple weeks ago, I had somebody ask me a question on hand fighting, tying up on the feet for jiu-jitsu or nogi grappling. And before that, I wanted to do just a solo video on the idea of stance and movement. Primarily a good stance for grappling. So when you are doing jiu-jitsu, you want your feet about shoulder width apart. This is going to give you a good athletic stance. All right, on my feet about shoulder width apart. Now, you could have a squared stance where your feet are in line with each other, and that's okay, but it's going to be harder to generate your offense there. You want to be able to create athletic dynamic movements, and that's going to be easier with a staggered stance versus a squared stance like I have right here. So what I want to do is most people are going to choose their dominant side to step forward. If you're right-handed, you're going to have your right foot forward. If you're left-handed, like me, you're going to have your left foot forward. So I'm going to step my left foot forward, and I want my heel about in line with the big toe of my rear foot right here. All right? Now, I don't want to be standing straight up in the air. You can be more upright in gi versus nogi because you have gi grips to control distance and control the height of your partner, but in nogi, you want to be considerably lower in your stance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees, bend my hips. I'm going to have my eyes up, hands up, and elbows in. All right? Elbows in to stop them from digging for underhooks and tying up with me as easily and getting their offensive tie-ups going. And hands up and eyes up to be my first line of defense. When you're grappling on the feet, you have three lines of defense. You have your head, your hands, and then lastly your hips, which we'll look at in a later video on the idea of sprawling and using your hips to stop them from getting an offensive takedown. So we're going to just be right here, and I want my feet, like I said, about shoulder width apart. I want my weight distributed evenly between both feet if I can, and I want knees, hips, elbows, and eyes up, elbows in, hips bent, knees bent. Right here like this. When we move, I want to move in almost a circular motion. I don't want to move straight up, straight to the left to right, or straight up or back. Moving straight up and back will leave me open to my partner's offense, and moving side to side, same thing. It's going to be too easy to be able for them to cut a corner or create an angle on me. When I'm moving in a circular motion, I can keep them in front of me, which is always what you want to do. You want to keep them in front of you. You don't want to give them the opportunity to create an angle here. All right. So I'm going to be right here, and I'm just going to move. And I'm never crossing my feet. If you cross your feet while you're standing up, you're giving your partner basically a free takedown here. So you never want to cross your feet. You always want your feet stay in that staggered, wide stance. I'm not doing a split or anything like that. This is just comfortable shoulder width distance right here. But I want to stay in a good staggered stance here, good athletic stance, ready to shoot, ready to set up my offensive guard pulls, things of that nature, and right there. Lastly, I do not want to stand up when my partner is close enough to use their offense on me. If they're more than like a body length away, they're too far away to shoot, that's fine. I can stand up really quickly, catch my breath. If maybe I'm new to grappling, I'm not used to staying down in a low stance. But if they're close to me, I want to stay in a low stance, and I want to match their head height with my head height. So I'll raise and lower my stance based on how high or low that they are, right here. All right? We're going to look in more detail, hand fighting and tying up in the next video. But for now, I think this will be really beneficial for a lot of people that maybe might be newer to grappling. If you have any other questions, please ask them. I'm happy to answer any questions you have on jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling, things of that nature. From the perspective of a purple belt, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for liking.